Hi, friends. Welcome. My name is Lisa, and today is Wednesday, and Wednesday means it's time for a weekly check in. So, back in 2016, I joined what at the time was called Weight Watchers, is now called WW, and that got me in the habit of checking in once a week. So, typically, when I first started Weight Watchers, it was that weekly weigh in check. So you would go get on the scale, talk to your coach, things like that. The weigh-in is no longer mandatory because I think even WW is realizing that a number on the scale is not even the best indicator of how you're doing on your journey or your wellness. So what I like to do is I still like every week to do a weekly check-in, and I just really call it my purposeful reflection. So it's me looking back on my week on purpose to see what I feel really good about. What do I maybe want to work on? What do I feel like I struggled with over that week? Because I think it's important to recognize those things so that we know how we want to move forward. I think we all do it, if you have kids or at work. If you have kids, you kind of go, how's school? How's your week? Do you have any projects? What are you working on? What do you need help with? Or even at work, you sit down with your manager or you sit down with your direct reports and it's like, what's going well? What do you need help with? What are you working on? That sort of thing. So a wellness journey is no different. I think it's really important while you're on your wellness journeys to do this check-in with yourself, to just say, how do I feel? How do I feel like I'm doing on this journey? Is there anything I'm struggling with? What can I do different? That sort of thing. How can I keep it fresh and new and make me feel good about the journey that I'm on? So that's what I'm doing today. Today is my Wednesday wellness check-in. So for the week, I guess the parts that I feel I struggled with this week was actually with my meal planning and my meal prep. For me, that's really important. For me on my wellness journey, I make better choices when I'm organized and prepared. That's just part of my own personal I'm an organized person. I like lists. I like organization. I like things like that. So it's no different on this. I like to know what I'm going to eat and when I'm going to eat it. Otherwise, what happens is my lunch break comes along and I go upstairs and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to have for lunch. And while I'm trying to figure out what to have for lunch, I'm like eating a box of crackers or like a handful of nuts or whatever else is laying around, a granola bar or whatever. And so I eat a bunch of food before and then I'm like, oh, I know what I'm going to have. And I make something completely different. So in my family, we're really good at supper planning because everybody gets their one day a week that they have a choice of what's for supper. And then that person either makes it or helps make it. Even the kids get their choices. So that's not a big issue for me. If I know what the plan is, I can go upstairs and start making it, or I can wait for that to be ready, that sort of thing. That's all good. But if I don't plan or prep my breakfast and my lunches, then I struggle. I struggle with what do I have? When do I have it? What do I want? If I have a plan or if it's prepped, I just go to it without even thinking about it. So that is a big deal for me. So that I struggled with this week. So I struggled with that last week. So now this week, I'll make sure that I have my lunches and my breakfast planned, if not prepped, so that that's not a problem for me, so that it's not something that I have to think of or overthink through my week or feel like I'm struggling with it. So if I reflect back on my week, some things that went really, really well. I feel great about my water intake. A few weeks ago, I actually decided I was going to try to take in less water. I think I was drinking too much. I was drinking at least 3 liters of water a day. Plus I drink tea, herbal tea, stuff like that. It was too much. I was drinking too much water. So I've tried to purposefully drink 2 liters. So I have my big 2-liter bottle that I fill my glass throughout the day. So I try to just make sure I drink that in addition to my tea and things like that. So that feels good for me, for my body. And again, water intake, it depends on so much. It's not just oh, you're a female this age, drink this much water. It doesn't work that way. So you really have to drink what feels good for you. I felt good about the food choices that I made. I think I did well when I could decide what to have for breakfast and lunch, and our suppers were good. So I felt good about the food choices. And I feel good about the activity that I got in this week. I went for a couple runs, I got some walks in, I did an exercise video for some strength training. So I feel good about that. I probably would normally have gotten a bike ride in there or maybe even another run, but there was a couple days where I wasn't feeling that great and I just had to listen to my body and do a little bit less, but still do something so that I would still feel better the next day. So for me, it's so important that I did move. I just maybe did something different than what I would typically have done. So I still feel really good about that. Some things that I continue to work on, I'm still monitoring or being very mindful with how much caffeine I'm intaking. So really just trying to stick to that 2 cups of tea a day. This week, there were a lot of days where I had the 3rd cup, but I'm really trying to stick to maybe around 2 cups of caffeinated tea a day and then the rest either herbal or decaf. So I feel good about that. I'm working on that still. The other thing that I'm really working on is doing some more strength training in addition to the cardio activity that I'm doing. So I like biking, I like walking, I do my running, I enjoy swimming, all of those things, but I want to try to get some more mindful, purposeful. I think purposeful is my word for this video today. Strength activity in, because I really, I'm getting older, things are getting flabby or jiggly, like we got our arms. I've lost weight, so I have loose skin and I have jiggly bits, which I'm always going to have, but I'd like to maybe tone some of that up a little bit. But because I also have arthritis, I know that it's important to have the muscle there to really protect my joints and to help with some of the pain that I'm experiencing. So that is my typical reflection for my week. I look at what do I feel really good about? What parts did I maybe struggle with? And then what part do I want to work on? And I think that is probably one of the most important things is what do I want to work on? What do I want to carry forward that I feel good about? What do I want to change that maybe I didn't feel good about? And what do I feel is the right step for me right now on my wellness journey? So that is my typical wellness check-in. Thank you so much for spending the time with me to kind of sit and listen to me go through my wellness check-in. I would love to hear from you in the comments section. Let me know how your week was. What's your wellness check-in? How are you feeling on your journey? What went well? What are you working on? Where are you in your journey right now? Are you losing weight? Are you trying to gain weight? Are you trying to maintain? Are you working on your mental wellness? Whatever that looks like for you, I'd love for you to share that in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. So thank you for spending the time with me. If you are on a wellness journey, I am here every Wednesday with my wellness journey check-in. And then on Saturdays, I talk about a wellness topic. So I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel and like the video. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.